Joining us, the political representatives, and let me see if Urmila Thakur ji can hear me. Urmila Thakur, good morning to you. क्या आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
मॉर्निंग।
उर्मिला ठाकुर जी, आप हमारे साथ सैटरडे को भी जुड़ी थी। उस दिन तो काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंस था, काफ़ी आप खुश भी नज़र आ रही थी। क्या आज भी उतना ही कॉन्फिडेंस है या थोड़ा सा सेंटिमेंट बदला है कि देखें कि रिजल्ट्स किस तरीके से आते हैं?
नहीं, कॉन्फिडेंस कल भी था, कॉन्फिडेंस आज भी है। देखिए, जनता के सामने जो मेरे नेता आदरणीय तेजस्वी यादव जी जो बिहार के भावी मुख्यमंत्री हैं, उन्होंने ज्वलंत मुद्दा को लेकर के हमेशा जनता के साथ खड़े रहे। और इस चुनाव में जनता का जनसैलाब आप देखे होंगे कि 34 हेलीकॉप्टर एक हेलीकॉप्टर के पीछे घूम रही थी और नेता बोल रहे थे, सारी नेता बिहार के जितने नेता हो, चाहे वो कार्यकर्ता हो, चाहे आम आवाम जनता हो, सारे लोग कह रहे थे तेजस्वी तुम आगे बढ़ो, हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं। तो सारे लोगों ने हमारे नेता को, आदरणीय नेता को जो है आगे बढ़ाने में और वोट देने में एकदम पूरा आगे रहे हैं। और हमारे नेता निश्चित रूप से बिहार के भावी मुख्यमंत्री आज रिजल्ट साबित कर देगी। और बिहार की जनता के साथ जो हमारे नेता हर ज्वलंत मुद्दा पर, चाहे वो बाढ़ हो, चाहे वो कोरोना हो, चाहे वह आप देखे होंगे कि जन सरोकार के सवाल, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का सवाल हो, या यहाँ के बेरोजगार जो युवा हैं, जो 40.6% जो युवा बेरोजगार है, उसके सवाल पर 10 लाख नौकरी देने का सवाल हो, शिक्षक को समान काम के लिए समान वेतन का सवाल हो, किसान का ऋण माफ करने का सवाल हो, चाहे आप देखे मैनिफेस्टो को नेता का देखे होंगे कि बिजली बिल कम करने के साथ साथ किसानी ऋण माफ के साथ साथ जो मनरेगा मजदूर की महिला है, जो आशा बहू है, आंगनबाड़ी सेविका है, सहायिका है, ये सारे जीविका बहने, सारे लोगों को अस्थायी नौकरी के साथ साथ 4,000 रुपया अस्थायी मानदेय जितना मिल रहा है उसे दुगुना करने का, सारे मुद्दों पर, चाहे कोसी का जो बाढ़ प्रभावित इलाका है उनके सवाल पे भी हमारे नेता खड़े उतरने का वादा किए हैं और आगे खड़े उतरने का काम करेंगे।
पर मुझे एक बात बताएं उर्मिला जी कि आज ऑफिस जो आरजेडी का पार्टी ऑफिस मेन हेडक्वार्टर है, वहां पे इतना फिर शांति और सन्नाटा क्यों है?
देखिए, लोगों को लगते रहता है, आरजेडी के खिलाफ में अफवाह फैलाते रहते हैं कि आरजेडी जो है, उन लोगों का कहना है जंगल राज की उपाधि देते हैं, उनके जो कार्यकर्ता है वो संयमित नहीं रहते हैं। लेकिन आए दिन अभी देखे होंगे कि हमारी पार्टी में प्रदेश दिया गया है, परिणाम चाहे जो भी हो, हम लोगों को एकदम पूरा शांति पूर्वक उन जनादेश को स्वीकार करना है। और जहां तक सत्ताधारी पार्टी का सवाल है, तो इन लोगों को बिहार की जनता क्यों जनादेश देंगे? जनादेश का जो अपमान किए, जनादेश महागठबंधन को दिया गया और 5 साल के लिए जनता वोट करती है। और कमर तोड़ महंगाई में जनता के ऊपर जो चुनावी बोझ डाला जाता है, उसके लिए तो नीतीश कुमार जी जिम्मेदार है, इसलिए कि उनको जनता ने महागठबंधन में रह के 5 साल चलाने के लिए दिए थे वोट, और रातों रात पलटी मारने का काम किए। ये कुर्सी के लिए कहीं भी जा सकते हैं, और 5 साल में 4 बार जिस राज्य का कुर्सी, कुमार जी कुर्सी बदलती हो, तो उस राज्य की जनता क्यों वोट करेंगे? और लास्ट आवर में तो वो संन्यास भी लेने की बात की है।
ठीक है, अब वो तो वोट कर चुकी जनता, और उन्होंने किसके लिए वोट किया उर्मिला जी, अब वो थोड़ी देर में पता चल जाएगा।
काम नहीं कर, शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, नीति आयोग का रिपोर्ट के अनुसार बिहार को सबसे नीचे पायदान पर 15 साल में इन्होंने,
वो पहले भी था और वो ठीक है। पर आप जो कह रही है वो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बात आपने बोली, और ये बात जो कल तेजस्वी ने भी अपने कार्यकर्ताओं को बोली कि परिणाम कुछ भी हो, whatever the results be, we have to behave in a disciplined manner and not resort to any kind of गुंडागर्दी, and यही आज रीजन हमें दिया जा रहा है कि ऑफिस क्यों खाली है। Yes, Mr. Sanjay Singh, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I was saying the figures that we are getting from Election Commission indicates one very interesting thing. JDU 13, Congress and JDU so far are running very close, almost coming up and down. So Congress actually practically does not have any support base left in Bihar. In last assembly election, we saw that the combined power of RJD and JDU pulling Congress to some around 25 or 27 seats. Again in these elections, if Congress is leading in 12 seats, that is power of RJD, which has both pulled and when need be pushed the Congress's cart. If that be the case and RJD's own scorecard so far is looking good, of course it is very close to NDA and the Mahagathbandhan. The numbers are actually very close as per EC's numbers. Even in that case, I would give that advantage to Mahagathbandhan because JDU is doing very, very badly at this stage, at least the numbers that we are getting now. I don't know how that is going to change. That may change in times to come, in some time, some hours, some minutes. But this Congress's number actually tells a larger story about power and might of the RJD that is shaping these elections around this time.
If these numbers hold, it's actually slightly worrisome because Congress is only contested in 70 seats vis-a-vis JDU's 115.
Yeah, precisely.
No, so actually this was a conversation we were also having earlier. Just to judge the performance of the Congress's party, what kind of strike rate would we expect in the state of Bihar? And I was looking at the data from the earlier elections also. The fact that they have now contested in 70 seats, some of the exit polls are giving them 25 to 30 seats. In the past, in 2015, Congress won in 27 of these seats. In 2010, though, it was pretty much non-existent. So what is your own expectation and how much of that would actually be a Tejasvi factor?
Very difficult to actually say that what will be the final number. In the last half an hour, there has been some change. Initially it appeared that the Mahagathbandhan was having a slightly more lead than the NDA, but it appears to be at the moment to be running fairly close. So we really do not know, but yes, I do agree with Sanjay that the Congress has actually declined in Bihar considerably over the last several years. And it's primarily dependent on the RJD, so it's definitely being pulled. But yes, the Congress does have a small amount of vote. That is why it is a part of an alliance. Otherwise, why should the RJD give? So those the consistent Congress votes are actually coming to the alliance. The same thing with the left also. These are the left is completely and ideologically, different kind of a party.
Then with the other factor, I see Pappu Yadav trailing in Madhepura.
He is.
Pappu Yadav trailing in Madhepura tells another story, which means that Yadavs have decided not to go for any vote katwa because Pappu Yadav used to have great deal of influence in Kosi region and was considered no less a leader than Lalu Yadav in that particular region. That was, of course, a long time back. So Pappu Yadav trailing is in Madhepura. Rome ka Pope, Saharsa ka Gop. So Pappu Yadav being a localite out there and him trailing in that particular region tells that they have voted strategically in consolidation and en bloc voting have gone.
Right.
They have owned up alliance and other than anybody in the alliance, the MY is not going to vote for anybody else except perhaps 1 or 2 seats for AIMIM in Simanchal region. The other thing about Congress, I think if you draw a parallel, like in Tamil Nadu, DMK's force propelled in parliamentary election to Congress to win that many number of seats which Congress won out there, despite doing so badly in the rest of the country. These numbers again are then LJP propping up to 4. Again, that is very significant.
Yes,
so
I was actually going to ask that.
Everybody is cutting into JDU's vote. That is very significant.
Yeah.
All these parties are actually cutting into JDU's vote and BJP on its own is holding on. How far BJP on its own can hold on?
That is important.
Precisely.
Okay, let me also bring in Abhishek. Good morning to you, Abhishek. Thanks for joining us. 70 seats is what the Congress is fighting on by itself. Within that, what would be a good performance for you? What's the internal expectation?
Tanvi, first of all, let me just update your panelists that if they want to talk about 2010 election, and if you look at these 70 specific seats, the strike rate of NDA on these 70 seats is approximately 95% in the past. These are predominantly seats where the NDA have completely won. Where 2010 elections are concerned, I'll be very straightforward to you. Out of these 70 seats, Congress won 4 seats with a vote percentage of 11.78%, and RJD could not win a single seat. So you must realize that these 70 seats are the toughest seats the Congress party is winning. And if you look at the background, even in the last Lok Sabha election, the NDA had completely won in these seats. And let me just update you now. Even in the last 2015 elections, Congress did extremely well. We did, in where comparison is concerned, we did better than RJD. But now, once we are fighting together, these 70 seats hold the key for Bihar. Congress will do well in these 70 seats, and the result will also reflect in the Mahagathbandhan vote tally very soon.
Now, Congress's number have gone up
Appreciable.
as vis-a-vis JDU's number. Congress stands at 22 and JDU 16. That means complete
and
decimation
also-
of.
But we do not know if
Too
these are
early to
the,
see-
the
too
trends are
early-
from the
Yeah.
seats
And-
where the JDU is contesting. We also do not
And
know.
also one more thing. Tanvi, one more thing.
Yeah.
Since 1990, RJD has never won any of these seats. So for them to say that Congress has got no role in Bihar on these 70 seats, I would want them to check their data and please come with the facts again.
No, I'm very curious, Abhishek.
Yes, please.
Number one, I mean, personally, I have a view which I've been maintaining since the start that the power play overs don't tell you the final score. So I don't know why we are even trying to defend that. But I'm more curious that you seem to be very upset with what the RJD is saying. They are your partners. Bhul gaya aap.
No, I'm trying to just recorrect the fact that the BJP spokesperson and you mentioned about the Congress performance on the 70 seats.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you again is these are hardcore NDA seats with a strike rate of 95%. And on these seats, if Congress has started doing well on these seats,
I brought
it's a
this
clear
issue up.
reflection on anti-NDA vote.
I-
So this is what I'm trying to tell you.
I brought this issue up because, look, it's a little fallacious at this stage for any one of us, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying all of us, to actually project or analyze anything because this is just too early. This is barely the first round of the EVMs that is just getting over. So a lot can change the next couple of hours or so. But having said that, I don't know why the Congress is in denial. Look, you've been in decline since the 90s in Bihar. Your domination of Bihar politics was from 47 to the late 60s. And ever since that movement started from the 90s, Congress has never been in the reckoning. So if you think that this is some kind of a revival of the Congress, I think that's a huge, misjudgment of the situation on ground. It's unfortunate that the party is now an appendage of sub-regional parties in most states. I mean, in Maharashtra, you've been reduced to that. In Uttar Pradesh, you're almost decimated. And now in Bihar also, you will remain an appendix to the RJD, which will end up being the largest party in your alliance. I'm not saying the overall, but certainly in your alliance. So let's not look at it as a revival of the Congress. Too early in any case, but I think that decline started in 90s. It didn't start now. It's a long way off.
No,
Okay, quick response from Abhishek, and then I will just update our viewers on where it is that the Congress seems to be leading at this point. Yes, Abhishek.
It's too early to say anything, but the conversation we
Okay.
specifically were having before was for these 70 specific seats
Right.
vis-a-vis performance of the Congress party.
Okay, let me also say that for the Congress party, 8 of these leads, the numbers you're looking at, 8 of those leads are actually coming in from the Seemanchal region. So from Amur, Araria, Bahadurganj, Forbesganj, Kishanganj, Kora, Manihari, Pranpur, Purnia, not Purnia yet, but Kishanganj, Kasba, Karwa, Forbesganj, Bahadurganj, Araria, and Amur.
Most of
These are the places
strong
in Seemanchal
yeah,
are
strong
the ones
M-
where Congress is leading. Right?
Strong M+Y seats.
Correct.
Is there any way we can try to understand that who are the others? I'm asking that is the AIMIM actually making any dent in
Yes.
Seemanchal?
Yeah, we can find that.
Yes.
Because that's the other thing which Sanjay was talking about, JDU. I think we'll eventually, if this trend continues, and when we get the actual figures, we'll be able to say that the LJP actually caused a huge damage to the JDU, because the JDU is contesting in those seats where the RJD is there, and the BJP, the Congress is in the fight in the BJP contested
In the
seats.
Seemanchal region, Mr. Nilanjan, right now, AIMIM doesn't have any lead. Congress is leading in
Which
8.
means that it's going to be quite similar to 2015, that there was a huge
BJP
build-up,
plus is leading
but
in
it doesn't get
in
translated
6.
into actual results.
Yeah.
So
So
actually, in
RJD
the end,
leading
that
in
tells
3.
a story of strategic voting, consolidation, in bloc strategic voting.
Has not
as
gone to the expected
then-
vote
then
cutout,
in
but has
that
actually
case,
gone to...
They thought, don't vote for MIM because they may be on the side of Mahagathbandhan eventually, but then vote for a side which is going to possibly form the government, be an alternate.
Let's not
and
waste our vote.
therefore they went for Congress.
So just to
and
answer
RJD.
what Nilanjan asked, it's a little, as I said, the biggest caveat is this very early days.
very
So
early.
This all can change. But I think to answer your question, CPI-ML is currently leading in 5 seats. CPI is leading in 2 and CPM in 3. So 10. of the others are just
CPI-ML
the
is the
left.
largest
Yes, that's
left
right.
party in the alliance.
That's correct. There is one
Consisting as many
independent.
as almost 20 seats.
That's correct. So there is
Which
one
seats,
independent
the
who's also
Begusarai
leading.
region?
We are just checking which particular region this is coming from. That we'll just check.
Also in Magadh region, CPI-ML has a good presence.
Yes, that's correct. Well, I mean, I think the left
So the
parties in
CPI
Bihar
ML
has been very
actually,
old association in any case.
There
Yes.
is
Yeah,
definitely, but it used to be CPI initially.
CPI initially.
CPI has actually fallen, by the wayside.
Absolutely.
So CPI-ML is leading in Bhojpur, in Tarari, in Ziradeh, Dumrao, Daraunda, Darauli.
That's right.
So these are the initial numbers coming in for CPI-ML. Well, again, like we've been telling you, till about 10 a.m. we're going to just be in a wait and watch mode. We will keep giving you the updates of these trends, but these are initial trends that we are looking at right now. BJP's Shreyasi Singh is leading from Jamui. Jitan Ram Manji is also leading right now. But Seemanchal, which is supposed to be, Seemanchal, which has a huge Muslim population as a percentage, is where Congress seems to be performing well right now amidst all the other parties. And that's where the Congress's bump up is coming, taking them to 22, a large chunk of that coming in from there. Between the alliances, NDA at 72 and Mahagathbandhan at 87. So it's still very close with a bit of an edge to Mahagathbandhan.
Just to add to the excitement of the power play, I mean, there is a graphic which I don't know if we can put it up right now or not, but that's called the firewall seats.
Yeah.
Pretty much it means that these are seats where for the last 3 elections the same party has won.
Okay.
So we want to see if in this election that
it
party is
changing or
holding
not?
on us. So some very interesting things are coming on that. For instance, the RJD's firewall seat of Ali Nagar, where Abdul Bari Siddiqui has won thrice in a row, he's actually trailing. Mishri Lal Yadav VIP is leading there as of now. It must be possibly the first round, but still. There is a JDU firewall seat of Bihariganj, where Congress is leading currently. Subhashini Bundela is ahead. Similarly, BJP's firewall seat of Chanpatia, where Congress is leading, Abhishek Ranjan. Asha Devi again, but no, Asha Devi is still leading, so that's fine. There is a Bhudev Chaudhary, the Doraiya seat. Bhudev Chaudhary of RJD is actually leading, even though JDU has held that seat for 3 consecutive elections in the past, 2005, 2010 and 15. Similarly, Forbesganj, Zakir Hussain Khan of Congress is ahead of the BJP's candidate Vidya Keshari, who again, the BJP has held that seat forever. So there are quite a lot of seats where the firewall seats seem to be breached, as of now at least. And I think that's very interesting if it goes.
I think LJP getting 5 seats and we are still at 174 leads only till now. So probably they might end up getting 8, 9 leads in all. I think that is something which has really made a dent into JDU votes. And the same strategic voting which Sanjay ji was mentioning was there to keep the other, I mean, on the other side, we don't see that strategic voting on this side. For example, I mean, I was told that in many of the constituencies, people who had actually matured and wanted to keep LJP out, so by default, they would end up voting for JDU in the end, which unfortunately the trends don't show at this point of time. And JDU seems to have taken a...
Is LJP getting, say, 7 to 8? Is that a good thing for the BJP
I still
or
believe
not?
LJP would not cross 5 or 6, but the initial leads do say that they have eaten into JDU votes, and JDU might be in for a beating because of that.
So not a good thing for BJP, so to say, because ultimately it was NDA and BJP was fighting this election as NDA with Nitish Kumar as professed future chief ministerial candidate, the incumbent and the future. So not a good sign for the NDA, for the BJP, so to say. But of course, good for Tejasvi. He was out with an agenda, his personal this thing. He vote Katua, as he was saying. So he kind of succeeded in his game.
And
undermining.
like I had mentioned on the first day,
And later on, you never know as to Tejaswi and Chirag may combine, though both are young. Tejaswi again, Chirag again is very ambitious, and there is there are indications of kind of some dealings between Chirag and Tejaswi. Say, for instance, in Raghopur Assembly seat, whereby LJP has put up a candidate against BJP candidate. So these situations are actually there on the ground.
But all those dealings will come to an end by this evening, because post-poll, if there is no clear majority to either of the two fronts, then it is going to be all kinds of permutations and combinations, working out.
Yeah,
so there I see Chirag Paswan
consider some of the
unlikely to
recent
go
elections.
with Tejaswi.
But in that case, Chirag in any case has spoiled his chances to become a minister out there at the center, because LJP in any case as on date is partner of BJP at the center, and Ramvilas Paswan was.
If I have to give an advice, to Chirag Paswan, it should be to officially join the BJP at this point of time, because I don't see, right, even in the last 17, 18 years, the conversion rate of LJP has never been good. So even in 2005, when they contested 179 seats, they ended up only with 29 seats. And I think it's high time he realizes that after Ramvilas Paswan ji.
No, from his point of view, I understand what you're saying, but I'm simply asking you from a voter's point of view, why would the BJP want to take somebody who's gone against them?
No, I think that's something which
and campaigned against their ally partner and their CM candidate.
I think that's something even Chirag would like to review at some point of time in the future, because after Ramvilas Paswan, who had a stature for the last 40 years, starting with the emergency, and he was a product of the Janta movement, I don't think Chirag would enjoy that stature. And with the limited 4 to 5% vote bank of his caste, he will only have to ride on a Modi wave or on some other party. For which again you need some credibility.
So let me set the cat amongst the pigeons. I think we are all looking at it from only one point of view. Please see the DNA of the BJP since they started their innings in 2014. They have either finished off or allowed 15 allies to walk out. 15. Between 2014 till now, 15 NDA allies have walked out. Technically, does anyone realize that NDA today has only Ramdas Athavale with them in the center? There's no other minister.
JDU is the only one in the heartland.
In the heartland.
Yeah, but they're also not part of the central
not because they are bad with allies. Not because of that. That's because that's what they want.
They didn't need allies.
They don't need allies, right? They came back with a better margin in 2019 despite having Walrat. So my question is this: what prevents the BJP to create a situation where 2/3 of the JDU post-election just walks over and joins the BJP?
I would disagree with you.
That's going to be eventually.
See, in any case, the word was out that this is going to be last election of Nitish Kumar, and BJP was being nice with Nitish Kumar only to appropriate Nitish's
They're just
legacy.
consolidating their own base.
JDU
No,
MLAs have
being
nothing
nice
to lose.
Nitish Kumar, so that the JDU rank and file and also middle level leadership believes that BJP is good to them.
See, they don't have to carry the baggage of secularism because they already are with the NDA, right?
Yeah.
The JDU. They have nothing to lose. If they walk over to the BJP, 2/3 of them, jump Nitish Kumar on the side, what prevents them from doing it?
Okay, let me actually bring in both Urmila Thakur and Aparajita Sarangi of the BJP on this. Good morning to you, Aparajita Sarangi. Right now, it doesn't, give us a very clear picture of which way it is headed. But what is interesting is that the LJP by itself, without BJP and JDU alliance, seems to be leading in 6 seats. I'm sure you heard what our panelists had to say about that.
A very good morning. In fact, let me tell you that NDA had started badly. A couple of minutes back when we all started the discussion and when the counting started, we were not doing so very well. But now you can see the margins narrowing down. And I'm sure you will agree with me when I say that BJP is doing better. We hope to do better. These are preliminary reports. So you cannot actually infer anything from these reports. And we are doing better. I can understand and I can say with conviction that there is anti-incumbency. I agree. And in fact, all of us know that. But then a person who has been in the chair for 15 years would actually raise the expectations of people. Let's look at it from that angle. In fact, the expectations of people will always be raised when a person is there for 15 years, and that's what has happened in Bihar. So, I think it is very natural, it is very normal for Nitish Kumar to face
kind of situation. But Modi factor, with all humility, I would say that Modi factor is dominating this anti-incumbency factor. And I can only say that we are improving, we would be doing well. These are preliminary reports, and we are hoping for the best.
But you're not saying you're winning.
No, I'm saying we are hoping for the best. We are doing better. You can see, I underscore, the margins are narrowing down. In fact, yesterday, after all the exit polls, everybody said RJD would be sweeping and, NDA would be nowhere.
So you're slightly more hopeful today. I get that point.
I am. In fact, I am. And all my colleagues are. We will be doing much better. Yes.
Aprajita Sarangi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll, of course, connect back with you slightly later in the day as numbers become clearer. Right now, as the numbers look, just because it's a mark that everybody watches out for, 100. Mahagathbandhan has crossed that mark, but NDA isn't far too behind at 87. Keep in mind that some of the exit polls actually weren't giving the NDA beyond 55 to 80. But these are early trends. I